I'm not kidding. This breakfast burrito has truly changed my life. Breakfast used to be a chore to make, now it's actually rewarding. Not only is this breakfast easy to meal prep, but its high protein content and cheesy, savory goodness make it a no-brainer for my morning routine. You only need 5 ingredients, excluding spices, to make 6 hearty burritos from scratch. Simple, inexpensive, and delicious. Hey, just like all my other recipes. The goal here is high protein, and I've got some ground turkey pulling about 1/3 of the weight since it's so lean. Eggs, of course, because a breakfast burrito wouldn't be what it is without them. And cottage cheese? Look, you gotta just trust me on this one. I know it sounds weird, but just wait and see. I'm smarter than I look. And because my mom complains that there aren't enough vegetables in my recipes, I'm including some kale. Doesn't really matter what veggie I use here, anything to get her off my back. Pan goes down like my hopes and dreams of ever leaving my 9 to 5 to pursue YouTube as a career. Crank up the heat to medium high. Once the pan is heated, I add the I meant to do that. I meant to do that for my shameless plug. Look, if you're in the market for a durable non-stick pan like this one, you can find an affiliate link for this exact 12-inch pan that I use from Amazon in the description below. After washing up my intentional mistake, I get the turkey cooking and start adding my personal taco seasoning spice blend. About a tablespoon or 8 grams of chili powder, the last of my smoked paprika, about half a teaspoon or 2 grams, 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of onion powder, the same amount of garlic powder, half a tablespoon or 4 grams of cumin, a pinch of oregano, about 1/4 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon or 2 grams of black pepper, an optional pinch of red pepper flakes, and 1 to 1.5 teaspoons or 9 grams of salt. I just mix around the turkey to coat it in the spices. Oh, you good? I start cooking the meat before adding the spices, as I find it's a nice way to save a little time. Gives the turkey a head start in browning. Once the meat and spice mixture starts to look a little dry, it's time to plop in the cottage cheese. Okay. Comment below how you feel about this right now, then reply to your comment after seeing what this turns into. My whole reason for adding cottage cheese in the first place is for the high protein content as well as the moisture it provides to the meat. It kills 2 birds with 1 stone, and it, well, makes this cheesy. We'll check up on that in a minute. In the meantime, to appease my mother, you see this, Mom? You see me? Are you proud? Just toss that bunch of protein leaves into the schlop on the stove, and we've turned something healthy into something healthier. You see how runny this is right now? Yeah, I'm gonna let that cook down while I prep the next thing that will go into these burritos. Eggs. Again, a breakfast burrito cannot be called a breakfast burrito if you neglect to put eggs into it. High in protein, B12, and healthy fats, this is where the magic happens in transforming a mundane breakfast into a biochemically useful meal. I'm looking at you, Cheerios. All 18, 3 per burrito. Back to the artisanal looking schlop on the stove. I mean, come on, that's gorgeous. May I remind you that I put cottage cheese in this, yet there are no cheesy lumps to be seen. By now it has reached a thickness that risks being too thick after I let this all cool, so I pour it into a glass dish or large rimmed plate and set it aside to cool. Wasting no time, I waterfall the whisked eggs into the pan. Keeping the pan on medium-high heat, I'm just pushing around the eggs and scraping the sides of the pan until I achieve a thoroughly cooked but still somewhat creamy end result. It's truly incredible how you can make eggs taste cheesy by cooking them this way. Into a bowl they go to keep from cooking much further. I add some salt to taste, maybe a little more than a teaspoon. I keep stirring the eggs as they cool in order to break them up a bit and to keep them from drying out. I let both the eggs and the turkey cool before I assemble the burritos. By the way, this is the meat now. Okay, so that's the filling, but where are the tortillas? In case you're new to this channel, well, first, hi. And second, I make almost everything from scratch, including the tortillas for this recipe. Watch that video after this one, and you'll see why I insist on making my own for these freezer burritos. I like to wrap my burritos in parchment paper before storing them in the freezer, as it helps to keep them held together while they freeze. Aluminum foil or wax paper would work well too. Those of you who are familiar with my other freezer burrito recipes may be used to seeing me use a scale at this point, but in keeping it simple, I'm just eyeballing it this time. And I tuck and wrap, making sure to put them pinkies to work. Wrap in the paper and set aside for another. I find that the process of wrapping your own burritos is actually pretty relaxing. Maybe if this whole YouTube thing doesn't work out, I'll pick up a job at Chipotle. Unless... I'm kidding. I believe in this channel far too much to ever give up on it. My aim is to bring you the tastiest, healthiest, and most convenient recipes that I can create to help anyone improve their diet. And that means far more to me than any paycheck ever will. Once all the burritos are wrapped, I line them up in a baking dish and set them in the freezer overnight before putting them in freezer-safe Ziploc bags for a quick and nutritious breakfast throughout the week, courtesy of my microwave. No, I don't have any footage of me eating these because I ate them all before I could record that. You're just going to have to try them for yourself.